Hey YouTube, it's your girl Dr. J, and I thought I would come back real quick and do a product review video. And the review that I'm going to do today is for the Easyread program that I've mentioned a couple times that my kids use. The Easyread program is really neat because it is a phonics based program for older children. So by older, I mean, 5 and up, but it's really designed for like that 7 to 12 age range. But the good thing about the program is that it focuses on teaching decoding, and it also reiterates the point that English is a phonetic based language. English is not at all a letter based language. So the letters don't make a difference. It's really the sounds that the letters are representing at that time. And this is something that's really, really important, and understanding the intricacies of phonics is really important for children with dyslexia. Now, the program, I can't really show you how the program works because I told you it's an online system, and I'm not sure that it's legal for me to go into my account and then kind of play around in there on screen. So what I'll do is I'll show you some of the characters that they use. So this is a card that you can print out on your printer. I printed it out on cardstock, and this is the yak. So when you see this character, your child would say the y sound. This is Zuto from Pluto, so there's always a rhyme. So when your child sees this character, they know it's the z sound. And then the ape in a cape, your child knows that it's the a sound, as opposed to the a sound. So when they see the ant in pink pants or the ant, they know that's the a sound as opposed to the a sound. I love this program because I had a house full of guessers that would look at the first and last letter of a word and kind of guess and be right if it was in context and be completely off if the word was outside of context. So I had a house full of guessers, and I needed them to really get back to focusing on decoding. And this program works amazing for decoding. The other thing that I really like about it is that a lot of US-based programs, this program is based out of the UK, a lot of US programs, they really don't give your child all of the phonic sounds, and your child is focused on why the rules don't make sense and why the rules always get broken. For instance, even Leapfrog, that does really good videos on phonics, they will say S says S, like snake. Well, that's true. When we see the letter S, oftentimes it is making the S sound, like snake. However, about 40% of the time, especially when the S is at the end of the word, it's not making the S sound, it is making the Z sound, like Z. For instance, if you have the word shoes. Okay, so what the Easyread program does is it shows them the characters so that they understand the sounds that those letters are representing at the time, and then it gets them so used to going through the decoding process that it becomes a lot more natural for them. So they don't read by guessing, they read by decoding, but they learn the steps and they learn the decoding process gradually, but in a really fun way. Another thing that I really like about the program is that it is game-based. So everything pretty much is games. The games are fun. They're very boy sensitive, which is great. My daughter loves it as well, but some of the phone games are like, shooting range, where you go into what's like a shooting gallery and you have to read the word and then shoot the right picture. So if you read the word wrong, you shoot the wrong picture and you don't get points. And then fighter pilot, where again you have to read the word and that tells you what picture you're going to shoot at, and if you guess, you're probably going to shoot at the wrong thing. So it's really game based, really fun. I also like that they have to read a lot of words in the program. For instance, there's a game called Mushroom Picker where they will tell you a word, so you'll hear the word that you're looking for, and then a word will pop up out of the grass, and you have to read the word and determine, is that the word that they said or is that the wrong word? If it's the right word, you pick you click on the mushroom. If it's the wrong word, you pick on the toadstool. I love that because when they go through a session, they may have read 50 words, but they were doing it all within the game, and so it was fun, and they didn't get frustrated with it. Another thing that I love about the program is that you are only supposed to spend 15 minutes a day on the program. In fact, the program will lock you out for at least an hour after you've done 15 minutes. So it keeps you from trying to kind of force your child to go faster. Even though the child likes the games, it keeps them from just rushing through the program, gives them time to process. Another thing is that if your child gets something wrong, it'll go back to the beginning of the game and have them start the game over again. It's just to show them that you want to get good. You don't want to get into guessing. Guessing only leads you to error. So you want to take your time and go through it. You get 3 tries per game, and if you fail on that 3rd try, it'll lock you out. But they say, there's a voice. David is the person that's over the program. He'll come on and he'll say, hey, you know what? You're having a little bit of trouble in this. That's okay. Let's stop for today, get a little bit of rest, and we'll try again tomorrow. It's okay. So I like that the program, it feels interactive for the child. Another thing that it has a reward system built into the program. So as your child progresses through, they put in these code words, and with each code word that they put in, they get prizes in the mail, and the prizes are actually really cool. And they also earn certificates as they go through each of the levels. So that's another really cool thing about the program. I also like that even though the program is relatively easy for the children because it's fun, they expose them to reading pretty complex words right off the bat, or decoding pretty complex words right off the bat. So whereas the Bob books that we have, your first level 1 books, you're going to be reading hat, mat, cat, sat, at, Whereas in Easyread, my kids, within the first, week, 2 weeks, they're reading words like helmet or, hippo or rhinoceros. They're reading words that are relatively complex. They also have a hangman game where they're spelling the words. So not only are they reading these pretty complicated words, but they're also spelling these pretty complex words. But it's fun for them, and they are learning the process as they go. Another thing that the program has is it has a built-in interactions with the parent. So for instance, as my children go through each level of the program, they will send me an email and they'll have YouTube videos for me to go see where, the owner of the program or the creator of the program is kind of saying, okay, hey parent, this is what we're doing. This is the things that we're trying to teach at this point. Here's some struggles that your child may be having. Here's how you respond to those struggles. Another part of the program is actual interaction. So they do a phone interview with me roughly about every 2 to 3 weeks, where we talk about how are the children doing in the program, how is it going for us, are they having any struggles, and if they are having some struggles, they give you different things that you can do to help. For instance, eye tracking is built into the program. You guys know we have vision issues over here. So I love that they were the only reading program to ever acknowledge that vision tracking the ability to track, if you don't have the ability to track well with your eyes, that's going to affect your reading. A lot of kids are struggling with learning how to read. They're being labeled with dyslexia and other issues when what they really have are eye tracking, eye teaming issues. So that is built into the program to discover if that's an issue. If it's a small tracking issue, they actually have some different exercises you can do with your child to really work on their eye tracking. And again, there's an incentive program built in there where they say, hey, these are the exercises that we want you to do. We want you to do it 10 times a day for 10 days. And if you do that, they'll send you a prize. You put in the code word, they'll send you a prize. So it really is about finding your child where they are and helping them with the process in a way that makes a lot of sense. It's working amazingly well for us. I have exposure to so many different programs. I mean, we have Reading Horizons, we have Bob Books, we Starfall, we had, you know, several programs that lots of homeschoolers love. We bought them. Bob Books, I like, we use them. Starfall, I like, we use it, but they really weren't teaching my kids how to read. They were making my kids great guessers, but they weren't teaching my kids how to read. The other programs, I just didn't like them. They didn't work for us. They didn't understand truly the depths of dyslexia, and they also had no accommodation for eye tracking, eye teaming issues. So that's one of the reasons why I really love this program. The program is also long enough. There's tons of lessons that are built into the program, so your child is getting a lot of practice in decoding. And so it's not like, okay, well, we've gone over mat, hat, sat, cat, now let's move on to these. It really goes into helping your child really get good at decoding. Now that I've sung the praises of the program, there are some, I'm going to be honest, there's some things about the program that not everybody will like. The first is the cost. This program is expensive, really expensive. It is over $1,200 for one license. Now, additional licenses, they're pretty cheap, only $450 per child, but hey, yeah, that's expensive. It is cost prohibitive for some families. But if you have a child who has something like dyslexia or another problem where they are really truly struggling to read, and it is becoming a problem that is affecting their progress, and they need intensive help, then it makes sense. For instance, there is a school for dyslexics here in my city. They do tutoring, but the tutoring costs $150 an hour. And for most people, it is not covered under insurance. So, yes, this program is expensive, but I would be paying as much money as the program costs for one child. That's what I would pay with 10 lessons with a tutor, 10 sessions with a tutor with my children. And 10 lessons or 10 sessions with a tutor would not get my kids to reading to where they need to be reading. So if you have a child that has a disability and you are having to spend money on remediation and come out of pocket on remediation, this is a very good alternative because the lessons are there. They understand dyslexia. They completely understand dyslexia. They completely understand eye tracking, eye teaming, eye convergence issues. You have built-in help with the pre-recorded videos, as well as live chats that they're going to do with you via Skype or over the phone. And also you can email them questions. They always get back to me within a few hours, and they will do phone sessions with you as well. Another thing that some people may have an issue with, there's lots of words that they use. For instance, the kids read the word gun. Sometimes they see pictures of guns. That's not a problem in our house, but I know some people, they may not want their kids to see guns, so there are pictures of guns. They have to read the word bum, and there's a picture, of somebody sitting, like in a steam room, and their towel is down, so you can see the back of their bum. That may, if that would be something you wouldn't want, then you might want to pass. When they read the word fat, there's a picture of, a big sumo wrestler. So if that is something that your family is opposed to, then again, this may be a program that you want to skip. Also, there is the possibility that your child will come out of the program with a slight British accent. And so if you are one where, you don't really want to expose your children to a really heavy accent, or you think they would have trouble with that, that's something to consider as well. When they get into actual reading of stories, you get to choose the region so that they will pronounce the words from your region. So you can choose, okay, I want it based on the UK or with the United States. They say, do you want a Northeast accent? Do you want a Southern accent? Do you want Western, Midwest? Because we all kind of, we all pronounce words slightly different ways. So it allows you to choose at that level of the program, but a lot of the program that they're going to get, especially their early exposure, it's going to be more of that British accent. So if you think that that wouldn't be something that you'd like to do, then that's another thing to consider. But for us, it's working well. For us, it has been money well spent. For us, it has actually been less expensive than if we were to try to have each child sit down with a tutor who would tutor them one-on-one with dyslexia. So like I said, if you have a child who has a severe learning challenge and reading is becoming, and their struggles with reading is hindering their progress in other areas of their life, I would highly recommend this program. If you're someone where you're just, kind of like me, and you are a curriculum junkie, you want to skip this one because it's not a program to buy just because it's kind of cool. It is awesome. It's really cool. The kids actually ask to do it every day. But again, it's it's not the cheapest, but we've been really happy with it. So thanks a lot, YouTube. This is DAJedu. Bye-bye.